This is Dave Palumbo of the RxMuscle.com. I'm here at the 2010 IFBB New York Pro Championships, here with John Romano and Big Sean Andros, and we're going to wrap up the action that happened here tonight in Tribeca Performing Arts Center, downtown New York City, New York. John, it was a great show. It was over quick, but with some pretty potent competition. What was your overall impression?
I was really surprised at how it ended up for the men, honestly. But I was focused on the women bodybuilders this time around because I had somebody in the show. But
do you think the audience and the level of competition was up there with among the best of the New York pros?
Absolutely, absolutely. This show every year, outdoes itself, and this was no different.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we're all wearing HOT BODZ clothing. John's got this beautiful red shirt that only John Romano could pull off. I've got my typical black on it, and we even put Sean in the dress shirt. What are you thinking?
That was the biggest fight of the day, I think.
Yeah, he wouldn't take off his RX Muscle shirt because he's very true to the colors underneath.
I'm our best advertiser. That's all I can do.
Well, Sean, as you know, the action started with the bikini competition, which happens to be yours and my favorite. Missy Coles, who I've been predicting for a number of weeks would win a pro show, finally comes through it and takes the title here. What do you think of her overall look?
Yeah, she's tall, sexy. She really commands the stage, and she beat two smaller girls, which I think she's had enough conditioning and stood above them enough.
Well, it's funny because Missy Coles happens to be one of these bikini competitors that brings not only beauty, butt, and boobs to the stage, but a lot of conditioning, John.
Yeah.
She's a conditioned bikini competitor. Yeah. She's not like just this TNA girl. Yeah. Do you think that's the look that they're starting to move towards? You have a date over there?
No, I'm looking at you. Sean's RX Muscle shirt is distracting under the light.
I thought it was the red was reflecting the light into your eye.
It could be that too. Who knows? I'm half blind as it is. I look on Facebook a lot of times and I see these bikini girls who are hiring personal trainers and waxing poetic. Their intense training and their ab routines and their intense cardio sessions and everything, and I'm thinking, all you need is a plastic surgeon. But then I look at Missy Coles and I'm thinking, well, maybe they're onto something here. And I like that toned, conditioned look a little bit better than just the kind of like loose, augmented look. Anyway, they're a little more athletic looking.
Chelsea Montez, who we always said was a great, real cutie, great stage presence, bubbly. The typical quintessential bikini competitor, really hasn't placed well in the last couple weeks. She changed her suit, changed her look, and she finishes second here tonight, and then qualifies for the Olympia. I mean, what'd you think?
Yeah, I really liked the judging, the way it went today with the bikini. It's been different from all the other shows. There's a different group of judges, and I think they went to girls who are in shape but not overly muscular, and I think that's what we all prefer.
Personality, definitely.
Yeah, but they weren't focused on girls being round or this or that. We don't get it. Everything made sense. We could pick all those girls. We knew they were hot. We knew they worked out, and Chelsea, she won the first pro card. I think we said the Junior USA, so she was the first bikini pro. So it's cool that she pulled the second here.
Cheryl and Roy, who dropped from figure down to bikini, took Sean's and my advice to take the flower out of her hair, go with the sexier, hotter look, the black suit, bustier, push up the boobs, better makeup job. John, were you impressed with the difference in her look this time around? And obviously she took third and qualified for Olympia.
Yeah, the flower was good for a while, but it was getting tired. It was time to change it. And I liked her. She looked a little more sultry this time out, a little more sexy, and I liked the dark color on her. And I thought it was a great move. And if you guys had anything to do with it, you got to pat yourselves on the back.
Sex sells, doesn't it, Sean? Isn't that the name of the game in bikini?
Yeah, I said you got a straight stripper. Make it rain.
Well, congratulations to Missy Coles. Let's talk a little bit about the men's 202 class with Kevin English. You and I have talked about Kevin English, how this guy made that 202 cutoff. He had to lose like 20 pounds in a week. He said he almost killed himself 25. Doing it. 25?
25. He was 227 exactly 1 week ago.
He almost killed himself. He told me this was the hardest he's ever had to work to make that weight, and he sucked down. He looks like this guy could have possibly placed top 3 in the Open. Can anyone beat Kevin English in the 202 class?
No. Well, first of all, he's right here. If you just take a look at him, walking right by, Kevin English. He's 230 right now. He's got at least 230 right now. So I heard someone, when they announced him as the winner, someone back there said, get the scale! Because, a lot of people think you ought to be 202 on the stage, but 24 hours, a lot can happen. He fasted for a day and a half. He was in the sauna. He was like...
Steve Weinberger took pictures of the scale, isn't that right? He told me, holding up a newspaper to make sure that they verified his weight.
Yeah, they don't screw around like that, but people start talking, Kevin does his hometown, his home show, so they got to, take the extra precautions to make sure.
I don't think that anyone can beat Kevin English as long as he stays in that 202 class, because I don't think anyone can come in as big and as hard as he can. I don't think anyone make that 20, 25-pound drop. So if Kevin wants to be the champion for the next 5 or 6 years, I think Kevin English will be the champion for the next 5 or 6 years. Whether it pays off monetarily to do that or not remains to be seen. Do you think you see more money being infused into this 202 class?
I don't think he's going to make it in prize money, but I think he may have incentives from his sponsors that, he has to, maintain that 202 Olympia status. It might be worth his while. I don't know what his personal endorsements are like. But the combination of prize money and endorsements could be worthwhile for him.
Jose Raymond finishes in second. This is probably the best Jose Raymond we've seen. He came down about 5 pounds, he told me, from his last placement, and he brought in a very dry, hard look, which accentuated his better body parts. He is short, he's stumpy in a sense, and if he comes in too full, he looks a little lumpy, square, and he loses his shape. Do you think this is the best Jose Raymond, or do you think he can be better?
He said he's still got 5 pounds he can put on. He was 197, I guess that's what my math tells me. And thank you. So, and I think 5 pounds would look great on him on his small frame. But any more than that, he's definitely a 202 guy. He can't get any bigger, and he is getting a little square.
I don't think anyone else in that 202 class I think he could beat Correa at his best. I think he's the second best 202 guy in the world. That'll won't be tested out until the 202 Olympia come September, but he's looking to win a pro show, so he's going to keep going, he told me.
You think he's better than David Henry?
I think he is better. I haven't seen David Henry coming in shape in over a year now.
Wow. Well, I think he's great. I think Jose Raymond's great. You know what he is his proportions are so perfect that by himself he looks 6 feet tall. You don't know that he's 5'1" or whatever he is, but he looks amazing. He's got every body part, every piece. His condition was incredible, not missing anything. So I think you're right.
Jason Arce finishes in third. He had his 18-month-old daughter in the front row. He was waving to her. You could tell that's like the joy of his life right now. What did you think of Jason? Jason said he was a little lighter than he normally been. He was 194. He hasn't been 194 like in 10 years. Do you think it was a mistake him coming down too low?
Yeah, he said he competed back in his open days around 212, 215, so it's definitely been a big drop for him. But, Jose has stepped into that upper league of the 202 where Kevin is the king of it, and I know Jason's still not there yet.
I think Jason, if he puts on another 5 pounds, will do well in that category. Let's talk about the women's bodybuilding. Okay, this was a very close contest. Kathy LeFrancois wins her third in a row New York Pro. She's a 3-time defending champion. She wins by 1 point, beating Sheila Bleck, someone you trained, in her pro debut. But let's talk about Kathy before we get to Sheila. Kathy, questionably made one of the best comebacks. She had a very, very bad arm injury. She missed the Olympia last year. She was very upset about that. She comes back here, brings great conditioning, great stage presence. What did you think, being honest, even though you trained the second place finisher?
I thought Kathy was great. I mean, there was, she didn't really have any weaknesses. Her condition was spot on. She's got a great little physique, and I really didn't see, I thought it was close, of course, so did the judges, apparently. But I think, Kathy deserves to win, and, if she did, she did.
Kathy, do you have Kathy in your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. She got my first oh shit of the night when she walked out. Her legs look crazy on her little frame. She's got those thick quads, and I think she was the only real Olympia top competitor here today.
I disagree with you in that sense. I think number one, Kathy wins the show because her glutes are striated, her hamstrings are ripped. I think Sheila's Bleck's from the rear could have been a little tighter, and I disagree in that. I think Sheila Bleck is an Olympia competitor. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this. Even though it is her rookie debut, I think that she's got that level of muscle and muscle separation that they look for on an Olympia stage. I feel she'll do very well at that level. What do you think?
Definitely. She's got the structure too. She's got that incredible athletic
presentation.
Incredible routine, great presentation, great muscle control. She's very polished. She knows what she's doing out there. It was 1 point. 1 point separated Sheila from Kathy. So
6 judges thought it was Kathy and 5 thought it was, Sheila.
Exactly. So she's not that far off. I think on the Olympia stage, it's the first time I've worked with her. It's the first time I've worked with anybody in 15 years. So I think, maybe a little more fine-tuning, a little honing of our procedure. And maybe Olympia time, she'll make a bigger dent in the lineup.
Good job to you, John. Let's talk about Sheila's potential moving forward. What do you think she needs to do to improve, to move up, in your mind, to that Olympia level?
I'm a little struck by the fact that Romano prepped the second-place finisher, and our greatest contribution to the show was talking about a girl's flower in her hair.
Sure.
Epic fail on our part there.
We're true sportsmen now. Yeah. Sports columnists.
No, and congrats to John for helping her to get her in great shape. She's a little strange. She needs to fill her frame out. I know every time we see her in the off-season, she comes out here to visit. She's always lean, always hard. She's got to fill out. I mean, she gets in great shape, but she doesn't have the roundness that Kathy has.
Well, I think Sheila made a phenomenal rookie debut, and congratulations to you. But one of my favorite placements of the contest was Heather Foster in third place. Heather Foster happens to be one of the only people to ever beat Iris on a consistent basis in the amateur ranks. She had a very severe injury the past 5 years. She's been dealing with some kind of pubic bone, malformation or pain that she's had. Was hobbled with a cane even. I don't know if you're aware of that. And she made her...
pubic bone.
Yeah, she made her... I don't know what the name of the disease is. I should, since I have the medical background. I didn't really get the full name. But Heather made the successful comeback here. She looked like her old self. I'd like to see a little more